Thank you, sir. I'm as hungry as you people are, so I'll take 5 minutes. It was quite daunting to be amongst 4 IPS officers. Let me give you some statistics to bring home the point why public safety is important. As per an article published in Journal of Law and Economics, the cost of crime to the US, the annual cost, was $1.7 trillion in 1999. And just to give you an idea about that, that's our current GDP, 1.7 trillion. The same amount for Wales and England was 6.5% of the GDP. For South Africa, it was 7.8% of the GDP, and I'm certain it will be much more than that for our country, because I belong to Bihar, and I have seen what crime can do and safety and security situation can do to the economics of that particular state. So, I'm not touching upon the CCTNS and other parts, just 3 aspects. And that is what our police forces, under the able leadership of people like them, that how do we accelerate incident detection? So that's our first response. How do we use technology to accelerate incident detection? The second is, how do I automate response? How quickly I respond to the situation? And third, how do I enable collaboration between people who are on the site and those who are sitting at the district headquarters, like the SP or the IG or the Home Department or CM? So the objectives, then how do I reduce the time between between incident detection and response by empowering the field personnel to make decisions based on available information? And then how do I disseminate information, right information, to the right people in right time? So basically doing this, and how people have started using technology. One is on incident reporting. Today the systems allow you to have pre-recorded messages which can go to the right kind of people based on type of incident, as SMS, as voice recorded message, even as a phone call to your phone, and through social media. So that's the incident reporting. And I was really happy to see what our colleague here talked about. I downloaded that application, and it's fantastic. As a citizen, I can report crime happening wherever I am. The next comes, how do I, after automating the response, the collaboration part, and before that, the detection part. So can we detect the incident before it happens? And cities like London, where they have large number of cameras, and they act like a big deterrent. So what they do, cameras which have inbuilt analytics, because it's not possible to have 5,000 cameras coming, like Mumbai is going to have 5,000 cameras. Are we going to put so many people to watch them? No, we cannot. And also, the response of a person watching a feed, in fact, the attenuation is very, very high. Within few minutes, your attention goes down completely. You cannot, in fact, you cannot detect what's happening there. So it has to be automated. Automation and detection has to be done both the places, command and control center, as well as at the camera itself, so that you can take some action based on the feed from the camera itself, which generates alert to the people in the command and control, or even it could be to the local police station, or even the police chowki. Then how do you analyze it and bring that video coming from that camera to the attention of the person who is manning the command and control center? So that's another important aspect. And then how do I provide remote assistance to those who are there in the field, who respond and reach immediately there? Next comes post-incident. Incident has taken place. A bomb blast has taken place in a mall. Now what all can be done and how technology can be used? I just give you a scenario. Incident has taken place. You have cameras. One camera has reported. Now there are systems where the cameras can talk to each other. The system can move the cameras, other cameras, facing to the point where the incident has taken place. So it's, whether it's a blast or even a gun firing. So you have more number of feed coming to command and control center for the same incident. That's number one, apart from generating SMS, voicemails, and all. Then you are enabling the people on the site who have reached first with the police station, with the superintendent of police, and people above. Now suppose it's a big incident and the chief minister also wants to know what's happening. And then generally they want to know. How do they communicate? As happened in Bombay blast last time, Mr. Chauhan, the chief minister, could not talk to the DGP or the commissioner of police or the home secretary for almost 13 minutes. Entire network was choked. Mobile network was choked. Landline network was choked. Now what do we do? How does he communicate? And finally, in fact, he went to the command and control center in the secretariat. He couldn't talk. What came to use was the walkie-talkie of one of the policemen present there. And that's how he was able to first communicate. So how do we make emergency response systems where they can, on the fly, have a separate channel of communication? In fact, the talk was going on after that incident, that how do they force the telecom service providers to keep certain amount of channels ready for first responders and designated people like those who in police and home department and chief minister and home minister like that. The next is, how do we evacuate people who are there? That's another big headache for the police deployed there. And there, how do you make use of all the television screens which are there to guide people to take them out from there? And the last one comes, can we analyze the past data and the current readings to come up with intelligence where the incident is going to take place? And there are tools like predictive discriminant analysis which help us to do this kind of thing. And some of the police forces in Western country are doing it. So these were some of my thoughts on the spot. I thought I'll tell just two things about the CCTNS which need to be done. One, Mr. Purushottam Sharma brought out very clearly, connectivity to all the police stations, police chowkis, and connectivity which is reliable. And the second one is capacity building. Unless until our people who are going to man, they are trained to take it, trained to make use of it, and they should not have another method that I go back to manual and I'll feed the data later. No, that cannot be done. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I hope